You think you know Queen Victoria, the stern widow in black who ruled an empire for 63 years, giving her name to an entire era of stuffy manners and industrial might? Well, brace yourself, because the real Victoria harbored secrets so macabre and twisted, they'd make a Victorian ghost story blush. We're talking a queen whose final days turned her into a frail, confused shell, ravaged by strokes and failing organs. A woman whose refusal to be embalmed led to a coffin lined with charcoal to soak up the oozing decay, as her body reportedly liquefied in the sweltering delay before burial. A monarch whose coffin was crammed with forbidden mementos, including scandalous tokens from her secret lover, that her family would have burned if they'd known. Prepare to unearth the chilling truths about Queen Victoria that textbooks bury deep. Facts that turn her from prim icon to a figure of Gothic obsession. From her bizarre deathbed rituals to the hidden scandals in her grave, from the chaotic funeral mishaps to the gruesome reality of her decomposing remains. These are the revelations that will forever change how you see the grandmother of Europe. Her empire spanned the globe, but her end was a private horror show. Her body betrayed her in the most horrific ways. Start with the ugliest truth. In her final years, Queen Victoria wasn't the indomitable ruler anymore. She was a crumbling invalid, her once sharp mind and body falling apart like a forgotten relic. By 1900, rheumatism locked her legs, forcing her into a wheelchair, while cataracts clouded her vision into a foggy haze. She lost her appetite, wasting away to a frail shadow, plagued by confusion and bouts of delirium. But it gets worse. In January 1901, a series of strokes hit hard. Her face sagged on one side, her speech slurred, leaving her dazed and bedridden. Surrounded by family at Osborne House, she whispered for her dog Turry to be brought to her side, her last coherent moments slipping away. You don't learn this in history class, but Victoria's annus horribilis of 1900, filled with Boer War woes and personal losses, left her so weakened that death came as a cerebral hemorrhage on January 22nd, at age 81. Her doctors noted she was drowsy, dazed, and confused, her empire's queen reduced to a helpless patient. Even in death, her tiny frame, once so commanding, became a vessel for decay. The secret coffin contents that scandalized royalty. Everyone knows Victoria mourned Prince Albert for 40 years, but the items she demanded in her coffin went beyond devotion into outright obsession and scandal. She penned secret instructions in 1897, a hidden list only her doctor Sir James Reed and dresser Mrs. Tuck could see. First, no embalming. Her body would rot naturally, so they lined the lead-sealed oak and cedar coffin with 1.5 inches of charcoal to absorb moisture and mask the inevitable stench. But here's the twisted part. Before placing her in, they layered Albert's embroidered dressing gown, made by their late daughter Alice, and a plaster cast of his hand, the same one she'd slept with nightly since 1861. Family photos, shawls, bracelets, lockets, and fresh flowers piled in, turning the coffin into a cluttered shrine. She was dressed in white satin with her wedding veil over her face, symbolizing reunion with Albert as his bride. Rings clammed every finger, including her serpent engagement ring from Albert, plus necklaces and brooches galore. But the real shocker? In her left hand, hidden under Queen Alexandra's flowers, a photo of her controversial servant John Brown, a lock of his hair, and his mother's wedding ring on her finger. Reed concealed it all, knowing her son Edward VII despised the Mrs. Brown rumors of an affair. If discovered, it could have sparked a royal firestorm. Her funeral was a chaotic disaster of delays and mishaps. Victoria planned her send-off like a military operation, but death turned it into a comedy of horrors. She demanded a soldier's daughter funeral, no black mourning, white pall instead, breaking tradition. Her body lay at Osborne for days, then crossed the Solent on Yacht Alberta amid booming guns. a spectacle for mourning crowds. But delays mounted. From death on January 22nd to state funeral February 2nd, then interment February 4th. Nearly 2 weeks for decomposition to set in, especially without embalming. Reports whisper her body began liquefying from poor preservation and winter chill turning to thaw, odors barely contained by charcoal. The procession, artillery horses panicked in Windsor's cold, snapping harnesses, naval guards improvised with ropes, hauling the coffin themselves, birthing a new tradition. At St. George's Chapel, it lay in state under guard, music from foreign composers like Tchaikovsky, a first and last. The Pope snubbed it, refusing Mass. Businesses griped over morning's trade hit. Even a death mask ordered by Kaiser Wilhelm sparked family fury. Victoria hated them. Assassination plots swirled, adding paranoia. The paranoia and obsessions that defined her end. Victoria's widowhood wasn't just grief. It was a fortress of secrets and fixations. After Albert's death, she shut herself away, sleeping with his hand cast, criticizing her children ruthlessly. Her bond with John Brown? A scandalous lifeline. He called her woman, got away with scoldings no one else dared. Rumors of romance enraged her family. Edward erased Brown's traces post-death. She hoarded sentimental clutter, her coffin a microcosm of it all. In final weeks, confusion reigned. She'd rally one day, fade the next, her diary ending abruptly. You don't learn this, but her no public lying in state kept the decay private, sparing the empire a gruesome sight. Death couldn't contain the mess. You'd assume Victoria's passing ended the drama, but her unembalmed body turned the weight into a ticking decomposition bomb. By interment at Frogmore Mausoleum beside Albert, sources hint her remains had started dissolving, wetness and odor seeping despite charcoal, a far cry from the dignified queen. The mausoleum service featured eerie laments and marches, her coffin lowered amid collapsing traditions. Guards from the 60th Rifle struggled with the floral stench, reversing arms in confusion. No one remembered how for a sovereign. Her secrets stayed buried, but whispers of the Brown items leaked, fueling posthumous scandals. Even the Undertaker forgot the coffin initially. Chaos reigning. There you have it. The true Queen Victoria, not the eternal mourner, but a woman whose grief twisted into gothic secrets, her body dissolving as her era faded. Power and loss made her a prisoner of sentiment, her end a masterclass in hidden horrors.